Hey there. Can
Hey,
you
how's
see
it
me?
going?
Good.
Good,
How are you?
good. I can't see you, which I guess is okay. Do you
Oh
want?
dear.
Well,
No, it's okay.
I can hear you either way. It's up to you.
Okay.
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 Well, I just thought since we just kind of missed that 4th of July holiday, you introduced a very unique tradition. So Racine has always had a really awesome 4th of July parade, with marching bands and fire trucks and National Guard and all that. But around 1980 or so, you and some of your friends came up with a very unique way of celebrating the holiday. So why don't you talk more about that?
Yeah, well, it was quite a few years ago, and I don't know what inspired us to do that, but we did it. So we're sitting on the parking lot in the front row of Jim Bohm's real estate business, and his office is on the back of the lot. So everybody lined up their cars, especially if you had a convertible right on the front of the
Yeah.
parking lot, so you see the
Yeah,
parade.
he had that parking lot that was facing Main Street right over the bridge there,
Right.
north side of
Right.
the bridge. That's a key spot. Yeah.
Yes. So we're sitting in Mary DiLorenzo's red convertible, and it's Jane Mason and Mary and I, and we're sitting there and we're watching everybody come by. And Miss Racine came by, and then it was Miss Frank's Kraut, and
Miss
I
what? I'm
I
sorry.
said, huh?
Oh, the Kraut Queen, you mean?
Queen, yes, the
Yeah,
Kraut
that
Queen.
was a beauty contest. Where was that from? What was that, like
I think
Sturdivant
it's
or
from
something?
Burlington, Wisconsin, and that's where Frank's Kraut was manufactured. And so
Okay.
they ran a beauty contest with 5 girls, and then one would become the Kraut Queen. And that was the sign that was painted on the sign of the convertible. And I said, who would want to be the Kraut Queen, for God's sakes?
Yeah, the
And
Kraut
we
Queen was
started,
like that'd be like a teenage girl typically, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
and you guys were all about what, 45 at the
Oh,
time?
at least. Yep. Probably. Yeah. So we started laughing and talking. And of course, we'd had a little too much beer, probably, and it was hot. And we're sitting on the back of this convertible. And somebody's, I don't know which one of us said, why don't we get in the parade as a Kraut Festival Queen reject? And we started laughing and saying, oh my God, how funny, and all this kind of stuff. And finally, we kind of got serious about it. And Jim Bohm did too. So they made a big sign and put on the side of the car, Kraut Queen Festival reject. And the three of us got on the back of the seat of the car. And I don't know, somebody threw a crepe paper lay at us, and we put it around our necks. And the parade was over. It had closed down. They're cleaning up the streets, and we got in the parade. And later I saw the film, and we're laughing and talking and in the parade and going down the parade. And the announcer on the film said, okay, well, that's the end of, I don't know which one, 45th, 4th of July parade in Racine. That's the end of it. And then we appeared on the film, and he said, oh, no, wait a minute, what is this?
So
And
he's
Jim
announcing this
started
like live on the radio or something, right? Or on TV even?
on TV. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
And so Jim turned kind of sideways on the street so you could see the sign better. And then he straightened out, and then he turned again, and then he turned again. And the guy announcing was just having a really falling out party. And we were falling apart laughing, and it was fun. So the next year we did it again. And the next year we did it again, except by the third or fourth year, we kind of got into the middle of the parade. And instead of being funny, we were now kind of an interruption. And several, I don't know, 5 or 6 other women joined us in the car. And we started to get in the parade, and the guy that was responsible for the parade was standing right in front of Jim Bohm's place. And he turned around and looked at us, and he said, not in this part of the parade, please, not now. So we waited a few minutes, but not too long. And that was our last appearance. The police wanted to take us down to the police station, and
Yeah.
we got into a little bit more trouble that time. So we decided that was the end of it.
Yeah, I remember that. My friends were making fun of me because I was like 5 or 6 years old. Like, your mom's going to jail. And I was like freaking out. Because I thought you were going to prison. or
Yes.
something.
And your
And-
dad came alongside of the car. He kept walking with the car, thinking that we were going to get arrested, and we didn't. But we had a lot of fun.
And I mean,
Anyway, hope we weren't too much of an interruption.
well, yeah, because you guys, like the second, third year, you guys went full blast. You put on like gowns and tiaras and you had
Right.
sashes and everything. Yeah, I remember that.
I think somebody stole some cemetery flowers and threw them at us.
You guys were a hit. They should have let you stay in the parade.
Well, for 1 or 2 years anyway. After that, it got kind of gruesome.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, every time I tell people that story, they always say I have the coolest mom ever. So,
Yeah,
So-
well, it was fun. It was fun for a while.
yeah, yeah.
And we weren't terrible looking yet, so it was okay.
Oh, you guys looked great. You were, I dare say so. You were a cute mom, and
One guy came up to the car when there were like 6 of us in the car or something. And he said, "What does this sign say?" And it said, "Kraut Festival Queen Reject." And he said, "Yeah, I can see why."
oh, should have slapped him.
Yeah,
thought-
no.
I thought you were gonna say he's gonna ask for your number or something.
No, not quite.
Cool. And so so the Kraut Queen, that was what company again?
Frank's Kraut.
In Burlington.
Yeah, it was canned.
Okay.
You know, Frank's Kraut was a canned product that we had it here for years. I don't know if it's still there or not. I hardly ever buy Kraut anymore.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah,
Was it canned what? Sauerkraut or what?
sauerkraut. Sauerkraut.
That sounds pretty disgusting.
Yeah. And my mom used, we were Bohemian, and mom made a lot of kraut and dumplings, and we used that kraut particularly when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound.
It was
very-
good. It was very tasty.
Doesn't sound very tasty. Yeah. Cool. So, and just kind of speaking of which, what was the 4th of July like when you were a little kid in Schuyler, Nebraska?
Oh, it was a great parade. We had a parade that went down Main Street, east and west, not north and south. There were 2 main streets in Schuyler, but we went east and west, and we had bands. We invited bands from all the other little towns in the county. So the Clarkson band was there. I think David City was there. Columbus was there once or twice, but they were in a different county, so they didn't come too often. And we marched. Everybody, floats and bands and everything collected on the east side of the courthouse, if you remember where the courthouse was.
Yeah.
And everybody was lined up for blocks, and we went very slowly through the town all the way up the west side of the main street, and then turned south and went back down the street. And it was really a pretty long parade, and there were everybody in Schuyler attended the parade. It was always a lot of fun. And I was in the marching band for a couple years. I wanted to join the band and play in the orchestra and play the flute, but at the time they needed a snare drummer, so they made me into a snare drummer. So I was the one keeping the beat for the band as we were marching down the street. And my mom came home after the parade, and I came home and I walked in the house, and she said, "Roberta, I am so proud of you. You were the only one in step." So anyway,
Yeah. I bet you wore a pretty.
I played the drum in the band, the snare drum in the band, with a couple other snare drummers. And we did indeed keep the beat for the band. And then in the wintertime, we didn't play snare drums. In the orchestra, we played kettle drums. And so that was good.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you played the
Yep.
kettle drum.
Yep.
So that was for what? Schuyler's high school orchestra or what?
Yeah, Schuyler High School's orchestra. Yep.
Oh, that must have been kind of
The band turned into an orchestra in the wintertime.
Okay. Neat.
Yep.
Fun.
Yep.
Did you like play at football games and stuff like that?
Yep. Although I didn't, because I was a cheerleader too, so I didn't play in the game.
Yeah, you were busy.
Yeah, I was busy.
So when you were in the band, did you get to wear like a snazzy uniform or what?
Oh yeah, and it was wool, and it was so hot. Oh
Yeah.
my God. And we had a little build cap on our head, and the wool uniform, our colors were green and white and gold, and so we had the uniform was green and white, green pants, white top, and brass buttons down the front.
Wow, that sounds really uncomfortable.
It was, especially in the summertime. Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it was fun.
So
Yeah.
cool. Were there a lot of girls playing the drums? I mean, you just kind of think of percussionists as being
Actually, all the drummers were girls when
really,
I was in high school.
huh?
Yeah. There weren't many guys. I don't know why. There were some before us
Yeah.
that played the drums, and they played very well. They were really good drummers, but yeah,
Yeah. So you were a little drummer girl.
I was a little drummer girl.
Fun, neat. Did you guys shoot off a lot of fireworks in the 4th of July back then?
Yeah, and there weren't so many rules at the time about not lighting fireworks, so we had a good time. And they had fireworks that went off down in the park, which was kind of close to Grandma's house, Grandma Jonas's house, so we all would go there and watch. And we had a pretty good view. They'd go up pretty high and we could see it pretty well.
Fun, neat.
Yep.
Well, cool.
Yep.
Well, that's all the questions I had for today. So kind of a happy belated 4th of July, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always, and Racine had a nice parade every 4th of
Oh,
July too.
I used to love the 4th of July when I was a kid because I mean they
Yeah.
had that whole parade and it was just and like there would be local politicians. I remember Russ Feingold was in the parade one year and
Yep.
you just had the marching bands and the floats and the Shriners and their tiny little cars and all that was fun.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, the Shriners were always there.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
They were lots of fun. They'd throw candy out off their float.
Yeah, yeah. And then there were the guys and later gals who would bronze their whole bodies and pose as those statues. They were like the guys who
Yeah.
would recreate the
That's right, the Statue of
Ra-
Liberty.
yeah, they would do the raising of the flag over Iwo Jima. That was really neat. That was always one of
Yep.
my
Yep, that was a great float.
oh yeah. I used to look forward to the 4th of July every summer. Then we'd go watch the fireworks over at the Patton's house and yep.
Over at Patton's house, and then we watched from our own house too. We have that nice big porch, so we'd watch from there sometimes too.
Yeah, yeah. And then later in life, I would go to those weird fireworks stores and halfway between Milwaukee and Racine, where for some reason you could buy illegal fireworks. So that was
Yes.
yes, yes. Well, cool. Well, fun, Mom. This was a lot of fun.
Yep.
So
That was the day.
yeah,
Those were the days. Yes, indeed.
yeah, totally, totally. Well, happy 4th of July, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sweetheart. I love you. This was fun.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, love you too. Yep, bye bye.
Bye bye.